New England gardening, so I had to completely clean up my aquarium again. I added this flame moss that introduced an algae I did not have before. It was just like this slime, or also a hair algae. And so I pulled everything out. I took the driftwood out and scrubbed it down and then let it bleach in the sun for a while. And my UV filter has been down for months, so I finally got that up and running again, and I'll show you what I did. And it's been on for 24 hours, so it's even already it's noticeable. I think it's starting to reduce the small algae bloom that I had in there. And I've got this plant that I've had success with all of a sudden. I think it's a lily. Let me show you here. So I originally purchased this plant as part of a low light package that was supposed to be easy to grow, and everything died except I had these two bulbs that pretty much stayed dormant. They would start to grow a little bit and then die back, and when they started to grow I'd put the bulbs in the soil, they still would die back, and then finally one of the bulbs just rotted away, and this one started showing life again. So I buried it in the gravel and I started getting serious about I've done my water change. I've added, I guess red plants need iron, so I've added some iron. I've added a chemical that allows for the, or helps for the conversion to iron. Let me see if I can find that. But it has put out these two lily pads that are going, looks like they're going to make it to the surface of the aquarium. And I really like the red color, although they look a little flimsy. That's why I'm adding these supplements now. So I've added this, let's see, Flourish XL promotes the ferrous state of iron, organic carbon for the planted aquarium. So let's see if this helps me. And also, like I said, red plants I guess require iron, so I've got this Flourish Iron supplement for the planted aquarium. So I've started adding that. But let me show you what I did with the UV light or UV filter. This is what the light looks like, and it just hangs inside a crystal separate from the water, and kind of easy to replace. I had these on 24/7 and was told that that was not necessary, that you can put a timer on these and just have it run periodically, and that's probably a good idea to extend the life of these since they're $50 a piece. You can see here how it sits inside the enclosure here. It just hangs in there. It doesn't have direct contact with the water. And that's the container that it just enters from the top there. It hangs, and it exposes the water to the UV light. So I'm going to add that, and hopefully that'll start reducing. After I did the water change, I had this algae bloom. I'm also going to add these sponge filters, which I'm hoping will further reduce the algae. Sort of like their own little mini biofilters, and hopefully they'll give me that extra crystal clear water that I'm looking for. So I have the UV sterilizer unplugged, and you just unscrew the top here. And the bulb just slides in. A little glass chamber that's watertight. It's supposed to be watertight. And there's the bulb. So that's what I'll be replacing. So here's the new one. And you don't want to put your fingerprints on the glass. There's the connector. Here's the old one. And you have to unscrew this cap here. Here's the plug. Plug it like so. Take that out. I guess it goes through here. Install the new one. Try not to get any fingerprints on the glass. Plug it in. Screw this back on. Carefully lower the bulb. Into the filter, into the stir. Carefully lower the bulb back into the sterilizer. Tuck the extra wire in, make sure it doesn't get stuck in the threads. And thread this top back on. And hopefully that's it. There's a little window here that you can see the UV light shining through if it's working. So we'll take a look at that when I plug it in. Oh great, that's not good. Okay, that's a problem because there's no light. So the only other thing it could be is the transformer, the power supply. So I guess I'll see you in a week. I need to order the replacement for the power supply. So I received the new transformer, the new power supply for the UV light, and I noticed on here it says ballast case must be grounded. So I don't know if that's a problem or not, because this old house still has some old knob and tube wiring which does not have a proper ground. So let's go give it a try anyways. So I've hooked up the old bulb and see if it works, and if it does, at least I have a spare sitting around for when this bulb eventually goes, and I hope the new power supply lasts a little bit longer. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so it seems to be working. So I'll stick with the old bulb. Let's install it now. So I'll lower this bulb in. So let's plug it in, make sure we see the light. Well, you really can't see that too much in the daytime, but it is on. You can see the light in there. So I decided to put the new bulb in, and it's a lot brighter. And that's the way I remember it, so I guess the old bulb is going too. So essentially I bought a new UV system except for the container. I've got a new power supply and a new bulb. So hopefully this will last a couple of years. So this is New England Gardening. Hopefully I've got my aquarium going back in a positive direction again. And for those of you thinking of getting an aquarium and you think it's just set it and forget it, that's not the case. You have to put some weekly effort into it to maintain it. Thanks for watching.